To be honest, the thing I realized early on was you didn't have to be the smartest guy in the room. You didn't have to be the most intelligent person in general, right? It's following the blueprint. And that was one of the biggest things I took away was, following instructions, following what they're telling you to do. Don't make it more complicated than it is. Asking the right questions. Like, I didn't have to own a house to be in this industry or, really go to, real estate school. I just followed their blueprint. And I saw Ryan himself coming into this, when he first started, didn't know not much about much and just followed the blueprint. So he proved to me that it worked. And then I ended up kind of just evolving what, the blueprint I followed and just kind of evolving and tailoring it to perfection of adapting to sellers and buyers in this industry.
So, fast forward now, CJ is our, head lead, acquisition specialist. We've got some newer people coming into our world. He's helping to train and groom. He's come a long way, but just so everyone knows the business that we're in the real estate investment space. So we run a cash offer model. We have sellers that'll reach out and contact us directly. They want to sell their home for cash for a lot of different reasons. They don't want to take it on market. They don't want to pay realtor fees, closing costs, commissions. They don't want people in and out of their house all the time. It may be a situation through death, divorce, job loss, rundown home, lots of maintenance. Could be hoarder situations we run into a lot of times where people are just flat out embarrassed to have neighbors or friends or family or even pictures of their house being public. They just want an easy way out. They want a cash offer solution, and they want to be able to close on their timeline and be able to net as much as they possibly can. So those are the solutions that we do provide for our sellers. And then whenever we have those opportunities come before us, we get them under contract. We look at a lot of different things. We look at them internally. Can we keep this property and take it down and flip it? Can we turn it into a rental? Can we turn it into a seller finance note? What would be the best thing if we kept this property internally? If it doesn't fit our internal buy box, or we see an option to sell it out to one of our investor partners, we'll do what's called wholesaling. So we'll sell that contract to another investor. They'll step in and close on it. We'll make some money on it. The seller gets their portion, cash, closes quickly, all through title company. And then that investor has room to go take that property down, rehab it, and keep it, and either turn it into a rental or turn around and flip it on the market as well. So there's a lot of moving parts to this, and there's a lot of opportunity here, but that's just, kind of the gist of the business that we're in. So, kind of on a day-to-day basis, what does your day look like?
Yeah, so, that's one thing, working for yourself versus working for, the man, they say at the hospital that I worked at, most of my life is, I'm just not working the 3 days, 12s, and then overtime. Being in this industry, my day and every day, I'm available. So whether it's, early morning Mondays or midnight Sundays, being available to your clients and customers is super important. So, day to day for me is all day, every day. And, just continuing to work at a 10X level. And, Ryan, coming into this, the foundation was, are you reading? Are you educating yourself? What videos are you watching? It was none, and none. So, the fact is, developing skills that I never, ever saw value in or even, thought about now is my everyday, right? Continuing to stay ahead and educating myself every day. Reading, I don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's more of following the greats, what they're doing and what they have done, and, reading and understanding how to get there faster instead of learning it on my own. So constantly, he's always like, how many books have you read? What book are you reading? So along with that, and early mornings I come and we all wake up and check our phones. I have kids and wife, I get those already, but I still I've learned to work while I'm with my family and getting my kids ready, right? Because if I'm not working 10 times harder than anyone else, I'm just going to be, just in the same position I was in, not elevating myself. So mornings I have my follow-ups, making sure that I'm constantly following up with the people that I don't have under contract, that are hot leads, or I feel I've built that relationship with. So constantly following up, and we're not wearing the shirt now, but our follow-up King shirt, we recently created, and that's the biggest thing, is building relationships with people. And your pipeline isn't, just somebody you call every 6 months, right? Like, everybody's calling them. Like, why are they going to go to you versus me? So building that relationship, all of my clients will say, if I'm going to sell my house, it's going to be to you. So, that alone will show the value I bring to them, and the trust with making the biggest decisions of their lives. So, coming in early in the office, we constantly are following up. Then we're looking, we have leads coming in every day that are hot, that become the priority. I guess, understanding your priorities every day. What is, what Ryan would say, the fastest thing to money, the closest thing to money. So, really looking at not wasting time being busy doing nothing, right? Like, it's really prioritizing and organizing your day to the fastest thing to money.
Right. So yeah, I mean, we really create a culture where, not everybody, everyone doesn't think they know everything. Nobody's smarter than the other person. It's constant growth, self-education. How can we learn from each other? How can we take the tools and the education that we're given to better ourselves constantly, right? So I don't know everything. You don't know everything.
Yeah.
Stuff in this business happens every single day, where we lean on a lot of our partners to help us through different situations. Every single deal is different. Every single person's different. Every single problem's different. Every single buyer's different. Every single situation's different. So
Facts.
There's no one size fits all in this business, and it's really custom creating solutions to our sellers and our buyers to make it a win for everyone.
Yep.
If our sellers aren't winning, if our buyers aren't winning, it's a no-go for us. So we just want to make sure we put our investors and everyone in, a great position.
And the great thing about it is, like, you don't have to have it all figured out to start, right? It's figure it out as you go. The biggest thing is just starting, right? And attacking and putting action to it, putting it into play. So I think the great thing about Ryan and I is, we've developed a foundation, but every seller we encounter is just like, wow, like problem after problem after problem. But it's great, because when there's problems, there's solutions. We may not know the answer right away, but we're gonna figure it out, right? And that's what really, like, sucked me into this business, is critical thinking, being creative, finding solutions that have to think outside the box that others are not doing, right? So being able to bring that value to sellers is huge, is constantly looking at all options, all scenarios to solve their problem.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people want to get into the, wholesaling, real estate space. There's a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of information out there, so some of those videos make it look pretty simple. There's a lot of moving parts. Just locking up the deal is half the battle. Selling it's the other half the battle, if you're not prepared to close on it internally. So, there's a lot of moving parts to it. And I think there's a lot of people that'll go down those rabbit holes of just research, but then they'll never take action on anything.
Yeah.
So, the get ready kind of people.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's what I saw in you, as I was pretty impressed when you first started. You weren't like, oh, what about this? I'm like, just get on the phone, start making calls,
right.
Start calling some of our past leads. And then once we have an opportunity or a situation, then we can figure it out from there.
Cross that bridge.
You didn't go down the rabbit hole. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. You just kind of got on the phone and started, figuring out through some, a little bit of coaching and mentoring and script practice. Now, I think the caring, nurturing side of you being on, the nursing side of things for a long time has really transformed, because
Absolutely.
You do have the patience to sit there and listen to, people's problems and figure out solutions and those type of things. I mean, he'll literally spend on the phone hour or 2 hours with people, and I have a very short attention span. I can sit on for a little while, but I got too many things going on, and I just get a little frustrated, so I'll have to get off. So I'm a little bit quicker. I don't have the patience to do that, but he has the nurturing patience that builds long-term relationships. We've seen other acquisition guys come and go, they don't take the time to build a relationship with their client, and it's just like any other person that's calling them on the phone or sending them something in the mail. It's like, oh, what do you want? How much? Okay, that don't work. Bye. Right? That's not going to work. You're never going to close a deal like that.
No.
You got to get down in the weeds with people, understand their motivation to sell, what their problems are, what they're trying to accomplish, where they're trying to go, and then create a solution after you hear that out to what works for them.